What up, boys? Welcome in this video. This one is gonna be a longer one. In this one, I'm gonna go over my fitness story, why I started, how I started, all my ups and downs, lessons, what I would change, and maybe it will motivate some of you. Maybe you will take some lessons from it. Maybe thanks to this video, you'll avoid the mistakes that I have made. There's one particular one that I will talk about. And yeah, I know some of you asked for this video, and I also know I wanted to make it for quite some time, just so you know me a little bit better. All of my 122 right now subscribers, thank you for subscribing to this channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, with that said, let me start from the very beginning, even before I started going to the gym. Now, this is a picture of me 6 years ago, your natural skinny kid. Well, a skinny 18-year-old. I wasn't a kid back then, no more. And then this is a picture of me less than 4 years ago. And that's a picture of a 21-year-old that let himself go during the pandemic. And I know this probably was the case for a lot of people, not only me. But this was me after the pandemic. I did let myself go. And this is a picture of the same guy 1 year later, after he's had enough and he decided to finally change. And he also decided to get fat in the process because he had no idea what the hell he was doing. And then this is a picture from like a couple days ago. Pretty significant difference, right? I know. And again, hopefully this video will inspire some of you, and others you will take at least one lesson and make your life a little bit easier thanks to the mistakes that I have made and I had to go through. So from the very beginning, I was never the athletic kid, okay? I was never really good at any sports. I was just average, you know? I like to have a good McDonald's meal. I didn't really go for any runs or anything. I used to play soccer here and there with my friends, but I never really stuck to one sport. I never went all in, had a training, anything. And I was never really strong. I was actually pretty weak. I would consider myself weaker than most of the kids back in the day. And you know, like every other kid, my dream was always to have the six pack, have the chest, have the shoulders. Pretty much every guy's dream. Like every guy wants to look good. That's just the way we are, right? And I even tried going to the gym a couple times before. But I always quit before I could see any type of results. I think I started going to the gym for four or five times. And I always went there for a week, maybe 2 weeks max. But you know, no protein, no exercise structure, nothing. I just went in, did something and then quit because no results. And I kept going like this until 2019, being skinny kid, pretty skinny. And then the pandemic hit, you know, less walking, no exercising at home, definitely. Way more takeout, just ordering food. And that caused me to gain weight and be skinny fat. And I kept going like this, being skinny fat, until this 1 week in 2021, which I remember to this day. This week was a turning point in my life. And back then I would consider this the worst week of my life. But now I am so super grateful that this week happened. And let me tell you why. So the entire thing started by my mom just telling me out of nowhere, out of the blue, that maybe I should consider starting a diet or going to the gym because I am getting a little fluffy. And I was like, okay, why are you telling me this? Is it really this bad that you're noticing and you have to tell me? And then the same week, a couple days later, I go and meet up with my friends from high school that I haven't seen for some quite some time because, you know, the pandemic, all that stuff. And the first thing that they told me whenever they saw me wasn't even a hello. The first, literally the first thing was, damn, you got kind of fat. And I was like, okay, that's, you know, back then I'd say that wasn't really nice. I mean, it was true. I did get fat. I just didn't expect them to have this as the first thing that they say when they see me. And I was like, okay, something's wrong here. We gotta do some work, I think. And then after feeling insecure about the first things too that happened, the same week, I asked my girlfriend, well, at the time, she was my girlfriend. I asked her, do you still find me attractive? And I could tell she didn't. And you can probably guess how I could tell. Yeah, that was the case. And I remember what she said. She said, yeah, your face is still attractive. And that fucking killed me. Let me tell you, she told me, yeah, your face is still attractive. I died inside. And it was because, you know how it is in a relationship, especially when you're 18 years old. I used to think that I would marry this girl. I would be with her for the rest of my life. And to have her say, yeah, I don't really find you attractive, but your face is pretty nice. I was dead inside, brother. Dead. This was the moment for me where, first of all, I was like, okay, we're probably not going to make it long term. And second of all, the worst thing was that I couldn't even blame her, because I knew I looked different, like from when we started dating. I knew I got fat, I got fluffy, I looked way worse. And maybe this is dramatic for you, because some of you watching this might be like overweight, obese even, and I was just skinny fat. But back then, I really hated the way I looked. I couldn't look in the mirror because I just hated what I saw. So this was really hard for me, especially this week, hearing it from a lot of people. Man, it was like really, really tough. I was in a very low spot. And back then, I started my first ever job, which was shit. It was a petrol station job. I was just doing 12-hour night shifts. And let me tell you, I had this belief in my head that I was made for more than this shit. So this combined, the shit job and the fact that I hated just the way I looked, they combined just made my life feel it made me feel like I was in a really, really low spot back then. And exactly in that time, I was scrolling YouTube and I saw this video. It was like, how to get in shape fast, no bullshit guide or something. I click it, I watch it, and I see in the description is like, try this free workout routine, So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Maybe this is the time that I change. I download the app, I download the workout routine, I install the app. And this exact day that I saw the video, I went and I signed up to the gym. And that was 21st of July, 2021. This was the day. It was the day that changed everything in my life. Like literally everything in my life. And what I realized now was different, like that day signing up to the gym from all the other times that I signed up, is I would always sign up with a friend. And I would stop going to the gym whenever they didn't feel like it. They don't want to go to the gym. I'm like, I don't want to go alone. So whenever they quit, I quit. And this time was different, because this time I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone. No, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm going to go in and I'm going to sign up. And that's exactly what I did. And I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I was doing some stupid free workouts online. I was doing the obvious 4 sets of 12, just leaving fuel in the tank. And I was like weak, like really, really weak, like weaker than most of the people in the gym. And now you could say this was like I was doing stupid shit, but it wasn't this stupid if it got me going, right? If it all started because of this, then maybe it wasn't so stupid all along. And even though I was really weak, what really mattered is that I was showing up week by week, three days a week. I remember I started with 3 days a week. I think I was doing push-pull leg, so just push-pull leg 3 times a week. And again, I was doing night shifts at the petrol station. I remember just cleaning everything, finishing everything up as soon as I could, just so I could sit on my phone, literally like this, and I would scroll fucking Reddit and read all the forums and just learn about supplements, about exercises, going to failure. I was learning about everything. I was just so hooked. I was consuming everything. I started following fitness influencers, this. And I was like, damn, it's pretty cool. And again, because it was like kind of low point in my life, my relationship was going to shit back then as well. Going to the gym was kind of like I was going for like an hour or two. It was time for me. Like I went in, boom, no problems. Just thinking about getting, a workout in. Didn't really care about anything else. Didn't care about the petrol station, my shit life, my shit relationship, the fucking way I looked because I was working on it. I didn't care about any of this. I was just there, and the bad thoughts were gone. So I loved going to the gym. And that's also when I created the 6-month contract, which you can watch a video about it right here. And I think this was one of the reasons why I actually stuck to it and I actually saw results. And now speaking of results, I remember taking some progress pictures like a month or 2 months after I started. I was blown away. Not because the difference was crazy, because it wasn't, but because I took a picture and, for example, I think my traps, they got a little bigger and I was like, what? Because this was the first time ever in my entire life, being, 20, I think back then, 21, I ever saw like my body change in a way that I enjoyed. It wasn't me getting fluffy or anything. It was me building muscle. I was blown away. And this was already getting me addicted, And I got results even though I was doing this stupid shit that the fitness influencers were trying to sell me. But I was showing up, and that's really what matters. So look, even if you don't know what you're doing, even if you're doing the dumbest fucking exercises, not being optimal at all, if you're going to show up, you're going to make some progress, okay? And I think it was around December, so like 5-6 months in, that I was like, let me lock in, let me build some muscle, let me get big. And that time as well, my relationship dead. We broke up. So I was like, all right, more motivation, more fuel in the tank. Let me go on a bulk. Let me go on a dirty motherfucking bulk. That's what I did. And when I say dirty, it was dirty, bro. Like, I remember lunch, okay? 2 frozen pizzas, chicken curry, and a bag of Pringles. For lunch, I was eating like 5k calories daily. And you know what happened? I went from 72 kgs to 83 kgs in like 5 months. And you know that's no bueno. That's no fucking bueno. You know why? Because your body is not able to build muscle that quick. So what happened? I got fat. I got fat as fuck. After a year of training, you could say I looked worse. Yeah, I built some muscle, but I was fat now. I wasn't skinny fat, I was just fat. And by the way, I was feeling shit and I was overweight. So no bueno. And you know, I look in the mirror. I literally stare in the mirror for a couple of minutes. Like out my body without my shit on. And I'm like, I've been going to the gym for a damn fucking year just to look like this. Something ain't happening. And this was the second turning point. The first one was just signing up to the gym. The second one was locking the fuck in. And that's what I did. I did lock the fuck in. I went on my first ever proper cut. And I mean like proper cut where I like I locked in. Every birthday, every party, everything. I would have a box with meal that I prepared where I knew the exact macros. I counted every single calorie, every single gram. The only thing that mattered for me was to lose the fucking fat and to get some like real progress that I would actually like. And by the way, I also started at that time going to college, studying nutrition at the time, but we're gonna get onto this a little bit later in the story. So my first cut, I started with pretty shit meals. I would just eat like chicken and rice, nothing freaking excited. But then I learned along the way, you know, I started eating so low calorie pizzas, like burgers, you know, a lot of meals. I actually have an ebook which has all the good stuff that I could eat during my cut and actually enjoy life. First link down below, you're gonna get way more, but this is one of the things that you get. And I was getting some real results. I would have a note in my notes app where I would track the weight every couple of days, and it was going down and down and down and down. And I was seeing results in the mirror. I saw veins for the first time. I remember how excited I was. Like, I think I have the picture. I'm gonna put the picture on screen. Seeing veins for the first time, I was so fucking excited. Like, and look at the veins I have now, bro. Like, crazy difference. But then I remember this one day, I look in the mirror and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I look at my stomach and I see muscles. I see some ab muscles. Bro, this was huge for me. I have not seen ab muscles ever in my life. So when I saw this, I remember, I think I got a little bit emotional just because like I was so happy that I am making progress. I'm getting real results. I couldn't believe it. So I was more motivated than ever. This just put more fuel in the tank. I kept going. I got to a pretty low body fat, pretty low weight as well. And this was the best I ever looked. Well, back then, best I ever looked, best I ever felt, because I was getting the attention for the first time in life. I was getting more compliments than ever. Everything was working fine, bro. Like, I was happy with how I looked for the first time in my entire life. And then I decided, okay, it's time to go on a bulk. But not a dirty bulk this time. Let's do a proper lean bulk. That's exactly what I did. Went on a lean bulk. My glycogen stores filled up, so I looked even better. I was still at a low body fat percentage. Bro, life was peak back then. And I was like, this is so fucking great. And I did it so quickly. Like, I went from fat to not fat in 6 months. And I was like, bro, I have to fucking somehow help people do the same shit. So I started working on the program that is now finished, first link down below. But I started working on the program. I was like, how can I help people do the same, but at a scale? So I started working on it, and I took one of my best friends. He's actually my uncle. He's 1 year older than me. I was like, bro, look, I made this. It was just like a totally, it wasn't done, okay? It was just, I was working on it, but I was like, hey, as I'm working on it, you can try using it. Let's see if you make any progress. And he lost 19 kgs. That is like 40 pounds of fat. And he's still going. That's why I'm not going to show you the pictures of his transformation yet, because his transformation is still going. He wants to get diced. And we're working on it. But like, you have to take my word for it. He lost 19 kgs of fat using this. And I was like, damn. Not only I changed my life, I'm helping others change their life. So I was broken for a couple of months, seeing some real nice progress. And then I knew that in September I was going to Italy for a quick holiday. And I was like, aight, let me do an aggressive cut. So that's exactly what I did. I did an aggressive cut, full video on that pretty damn soon. I made some significant progress in a month as well. Everything was great. I went on the holiday, took some fire ass pictures. Bro, my life was peak. I come back, and this was 2 years after breaking up with my girlfriend. And you know, in the time between, I got all the attention. Way more girls started texting me, all this good stuff. But I didn't want a relationship, you know? I didn't really want a relationship, so I stayed single. But when I came back, this was November 2023, this one girl texts me and we start dating. And you know, I didn't date for 2 years, so all butterflies, all that shit. And healthy relationship fat. That's what happened. I was all in the relationship. I stopped counting calories. I missed, you know, gym here and there. And I still looked pretty good for a couple of months. But, you know, as time was passing by, I was eating more, and we were cooking really unhealthy shit. And then, boom, April, I'm a fat motherfucker all over again. I'm like, what happened? Well, I was 75 kgs. So, you know, I didn't track anything, but I was eating a lot of calories. I still kept the protein high because I was going to the gym sometimes, but it wasn't it. So I was like, aye, summer in a couple of months, boys, we gotta log the fuck in, okay? What if we go to like on a holiday? We gotta log the fuck in, we gotta be diced. So April, I start the cut, and it's going pretty good. I'm cutting down, you know, back into the good habits, 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg. And then June 2024 happens, and I have to, we decided to go to Iceland to earn some money because we were in a pretty shit spot money-wise. So we go to Iceland and we stay there for 2 months, okay? But food was very expensive, and the company that we were working for actually offered to give us a hot lunch, even 2, during one day, okay? And I was like, we gotta fucking use it because we ain't paying because way too expensive and this is for free. And it was great food. It was a lot of food, and it was a lot of saturated fats, meaning a lot of them calories, like a lot them calories. So all the progress that I have made since April, I got back. Like I got fat again all over, even fatter than I was in April. No fucking bueno. So we come back to Poland in September, and then a lot of problems start happening. First of all, relationship problems, this. Then family problems at home, okay? We decided to moving out problems. Just a lot of shit that I did not go back to my good habits because of all of this. But I did manage to become a certified personal trainer, thankfully, get a few clients, thankfully, because I could earn some like real money now. And yeah, November rolls around. We are in a new place, you know, enjoying life, kind of, you know, starting a life after all the shit in September. And boom, relationship ends. And I'm like, what? And this shit knocks me out for like 2 weeks straight. Like I'm talking knocks me out. The only place that I went was to the gym to coach my clients. Other than that, I would lay in bed and I would just order takeout because I had no energy to fucking live, bro. Like this shit knocked me out. 2-3 weeks go by. I'm kind of starting to live again, okay? I'm kind of starting to go to the gym, maybe be able to prepare a fucking proper breakfast instead of ordering something. Like I was slowly getting back on track, slowly feeling more and more motivated. I started going back to the gym, okay? Kind of focusing on what I was eating. I wasn't tracking calories just yet, but I was making sure to hit the protein, you know. I was getting back on track, and I really started to work on the program. I wanted to finish it because I was working on it here and there, okay, but it wasn't like really, I wasn't really locked in. So I needed to do something since I was still, you know, grieving the relationship. So I went all in on the program, and boom, finished it in like 2 months, okay? So it's the end of January, the program's finished. I have to only like make the website and get all this stuff working. And then February starts, I start tracking calories. I'm like, aight, we got this, okay? Now I'm good with the relationship. I don't care anymore. I got new priorities, new motivation. Like, we're going, bro. Ain't no stopping me now, okay? So I lock in February, counting calories, going again to the gym 6 times a week. Now I'm going 5, but back then I used to go 6 times a week, okay? Getting clients, working on the program. Everything's going freaking great. So boom, March comes around. I release the program. Everything's working. A couple guys join. You know, I'm losing weight. Progress is going great. Getting stronger. Getting more clients. All this, just life is, you know, life's kind of spinning again. We like back on this shit, man. And even I got my guy Damo making mad results in the program. Like, look at the pictures, bro. Crazy difference. Like, he's killing it, and he's gonna still keep killing it, bro. And this pretty much led me to this point, now making these videos for you so I can help even more people change their life like I changed my life. And I'm still cutting. I'm gonna be cutting for at least 1 month because I'm going on 3 damn holidays next month. Well, over the next 2 months I'm going over 3 holidays, so I'm super excited. I want to be looking nice. That's why I'm still cutting, but we're looking pretty damn nice now, and everything's working well. And yeah, man, I just really like enjoy my life right now. I'm helping people in person, helping people online in my program. Like, this is the best investment that you can make if you want to get in shape, and maybe you've been struggling to do it on your own. Like, I'm gonna hold your hand, we're gonna do it together. And if you don't change your body and you don't get in the best shape of your life, I'm gonna freaking pay you back, because I'm this certain that you will get the results, bro. Like, people are getting the results. I got the results. I know this shit works. And also, I got a free thing that you can join. Is the second link down below. 30 ways in 30 days. It's gonna help you get in shape as well. But when you finish the second one, you're gonna think to yourself, damn, so much fucking value for free. How good is this paid stuff? And you're gonna join the first one. So check out the second one. It's completely free. And yeah, that is pretty much a very quick rundown of my fitness story, like why I started, all the ups and downs along the way. I hope it motivated some of you. I hope you take some lessons out of it. The one that I hope you take out of it is not to freaking dirty bulk, bro. I keep saying it. I know some of you are gonna do it anyway, but like, don't fucking dirty bulk. It's gonna waste so much of your time. You're gonna cut for so much longer. You're not gonna make that much progress. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna look like shit. It's really not worth it, man. Look, I even have this tattoo. I don't know if you can see it. It's like, if you hold it like this, there's going to be a down. If you hold it like this, it's going to be up. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs along the way. Use me as an example. There was a lot of ups and downs, but now we're looking pretty good. So you just have to keep going, okay? Don't quit. I have a saying on my wall here. If you don't quit, you can't lose. And that is true, bro. And don't quit, because there's so much good shit that comes from having a nice physique. It's the attention. It's fucking feeling good about yourself. It's looking in the mirror, being proud. It's having more confidence, having more respect, and you can even make them money with it. So again, if you want this ASAP, I'm gonna hold your hand, first link down below. And yeah, man, that is it for the video. If you have any questions about anything, shoot me a DM on Instagram or comment down below. You can also comment if you want to see any other videos, like a specific topic. I'm gonna make it just for you. And with that said, brother, no matter if you're tired, go ahead and do what's required. And I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. Peace.